All right, let's go ahead and open up the doors to our Zoom room. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, I am super excited to be able to bring more information to you that puts tools in your toolbox to allow you to be able to help yourself in a much more natural way. So, folks, we are a resource to an amazing community. If somebody specifically invited you to watch this program, make sure that you get back with them. We are a program that is sponsored by DailywithDoc.com. We are a group of certified holistic health coaches and health advocates. But the person that shared this program with you is the person you need to get back to whenever you have questions or are interested in more information about anything that is presented on this program. So with that being said, we have many people that have never spoken to anybody about Daily with Doc, myself, Dr. Wallach, or the products that are mentioned in this program. And we invite you to get in contact with somebody that can help you find the products, the nutrients that will help you on a path, a journey to optimal health. We have a call team standing by at 855-949-3377, or go to our website, DailywithDoc.com, and you can click on that contact option and send us an email. We'll get you in contact with somebody to help you find, again, what your body specifically can benefit from when it comes to intentional supplementation for nutrition. Now, today we have an amazing another doctor, okay, folks, that before I go into that, this program is for educational purposes only. It is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor are any of the products intended to treat, diagnose, or cure diseases. But folks, when you look at key ingredients on PubMed.gov and the benefits that those key ingredients have within the body, and then you synergistically blend them, the body can do some amazing things. And that's another reason why I have today's guest on with us, because this doctor, Dr. Laura Dennison, she is a naturopathic doctor, but she's also a master herbalist. So she's taken multiple certifications, putting them all together. And as she was putting those things together, she also came up with a line of products that we call Stay Natural that use that synergy between nutrition and herbs. And today, we're going to talk specifically about hormones. Men and women, yes, guys, you get hormonal imbalances too. But if I could get Dr. Laura Dennison on that line with me, I just want to welcome Dr. Laura. Thank you for joining us here on Daily with Doc and Becca. And today, you are Doc.
Okay, well, I am super excited to be here. What a great show you have here. And it's just amazing. And I love how you said that there's tons of ingredients that have been studied that goes into these products. So we're never diagnosing, treating, cure, and prevent anything, but these ingredients are just tested. And I and I'm an herbalist, okay, so the medicinal herbs have been around for centuries, since the known of man. Okay, we've had certain plants and different things like that that can actually be medicinal. So I love that.
Well, and myself, not a master herbalist, but an herbalist as well. When I first saw your products, I'm like, oh, this is so sweet. Because you have put together products that are some of the things that I was formulating for also on a much smaller basis before finding longevity. So I was super excited to learn about you your education. I mean, you're a mom, you're a grandmother, you've got you've been in network marketing and businesses. You and your husband stand both for decades, and you're teaching that love for people, love for connection, and then love for health, and putting it all together in such a nice package that I'm super excited to have you here with us today.
Well, thank you. And Becca, when you talk about that, because everybody on here, I know there's a lot of, health coaches and advocates, health advocates, or maybe you're just coming to find out, what we're all about. But that's what you see in our community is people that are just focused on health, focused on the whole body, mind, body, spirit. You talk about love, and Stan and I were talking the other day, and I just did a talk yesterday, and we've been in this industry for over 30 years. And in the nutritional industry for 30 years. And we've seen a lot of things come and go. And so the last 9 years being partnered with Longevity has been the absolute best, just because of the 90 for life. You guys, these 90 essential nutrients, that is just spectacular, for our bodies. I mean, it's just incredible. And it goes right along with hormones. Okay. Oh, bless you. God bless you. And whenever you want me to talk about hormones, I will get started, because it is one of my favorite things to talk about, because you guys, hormones, when they're out of whack, you're a mess. Okay. And a lot of times things get misdiagnosed too.
Well, so let's start with some of the most popular things, and it's not popular in a good way. Popular symptoms that people don't normally associate with hormone imbalance.
Okay, so there's a lot of symptoms that, and the saddest part of some of the symptoms is, we think about hormones and we think about our monthly cycle, and we think about, PMS, we think about, food cravings, all the things that are associated with PMS, but it actually goes deeper. And what's really sad is that a lot of people get diagnosed with autoimmune conditions about the age of 35. But at the age of 35, your testosterone, especially for women, is dipping. Okay. It's the first hormone to fall, is testosterone. Well, with women, we don't talk about testosterone. And so there's a lot of things that we can do, especially at a younger age, to balance those hormones. So then we don't have the other things that gets associated with it, like anxiety, depression, fatigue, insomnia. I'm so thankful for this new product. Now I want to talk about melatonin a little bit too, because it does affect hormones, and it does affect elevated cortisol. And so when we think about hormones, especially for women, all we think about is estrogen, and or progesterone, and we don't think about testosterone. You guys, testosterone is the secret weapon whenever it comes to women's health. Now let's talk about the men. Men, the same thing. When their testosterone starts to dip, their mood changes. Okay. Anger, different emotions, depression, anxiety. And they don't really realize that it's a dip in their testosterone, because we relate testosterone to sex drive. We relate testosterone to being bulky and tough and, ready to, slay the day, but it goes further than that. And it's really an emotional hormone that people don't realize. And so a lot of times people will get misdiagnosed because they actually have a level of low testosterone. Now, with women, we think about estrogen, okay? And we only think about that when we're going through menopause. But estrogen can also cause fatigue, insomnia, migraines, whether it's elevated or whether it's even low. Okay, so there is symptoms that goes into elevated estrogen, which, you guys, estrogen, because see, I had a hysterectomy at the age of 27. So, and it was a complete hysterectomy. So I was thrown into menopause right off the bat. And at 27, I had 2 young kids, and I was a mess. And thankfully, we found, some solutions, because at that time, I mean, I didn't want to be any part of a relationship with Stan. That's terrible to say. And I love my husband. but everything that I was going through, he couldn't understand. And so it was, thankfully, with God's help, we didn't go down that road of the big divorce. But sometimes it happens for women. And it's usually, about that age, about in the 30s, things start changing, hormones start changing. Even for men, they start changing. And there is a lot of solutions. Of course, there's a lot of things that hamper our ability to balance hormones, and that's our environment. I mean, there's so many things that goes into like endocrine disruptors, packaged food. I'm so thankful. We have this list of 10 bad foods, you guys, and it really, we talk about gut health and absorbing the nutrients, absorbing the 90 for life, but that also goes into hormone health as well. Soy products are horrible. Now, flaxseed is being overly processed, just like soy, and so now it's becoming an endocrine disruptor as well. And so when I talk about endocrine disruptors, endocrine disruptors are things that mimic estrogen. Okay, so your body's really not making it, but you have something that's mimicking it. So then the excessive estrogen could get stored in the fat cells, or even the testosterone could get stored in the fat cells, and their body isn't telling it to be usable. So then you have free floating estrogen in the body that is not making use. And so then you have a lot of other host of different conditions as well.
Wow. And flaxseed, I mean, flaxseed is supposed to be healthy, whether it's the
Yes.
flaxseed oil, the crushed ground up flaxseed, all of these different things. And because of what modern technology and over processing, it's taking good and making it not so good.
That's right. And it goes back to, way back when, okay, when Monsanto came out and was going to save the world, he's the one that's created this environment for us to have food that's not good. I'm a big fan of organic. I know a lot of people, you know, aren't understanding that, but you guys, in today's world, the pesticides, the herbicides, all of those are so detrimental to how our gut is. Okay, because at night when we sleep, I know that we have fantastic products now that are helping induce sleep. If people are on here, can I mention a product? Is it okay for me to
Yeah,
mention a product?
yes.
Okay. Oh my gosh. You guys, the sleep gummies are beautiful. Okay. It has a plant-based melatonin. I think that's what really makes the difference, but also has the GABA, which is a neurotransmitter. Um, and people are I even changing people's lives by doing that system, that 3-pack. People are getting restful sleep. They're not as stressed as in the morning because now they got the balance of the melatonin and the cortisol, which are two necessary hormones as well. That is, critical. But here's what happens at night. Okay, so at night your gut starts to repair itself. Okay, and so when we go through this repair, it also helps to make necessary hormones. Okay, which is the DHEA. Okay, so that is a steroidal hormone that is so necessary, and it gets repaired at night. Okay, so then when we are repairing the gut, okay, we're also repairing the neurotransmitters that's in the brain that gives us our dopamine. It helps with the serotonin, and testosterone, a deficiency in testosterone, okay, will cause your body not to make necessary connections with serotonin, okay, which is our feel-good hormone, okay, that helps you with stress. And so that's happening at night. And so when you're not having good sleep, then you're already behind the hormone 8 ball or whatever you want to call it. By the time you wake up, you already have too much free floating cortisol. Okay, and you're then that stress, the anxiety, depression, the bad mood comes along. It's hard to function, and it's hard to make those necessary hormones. Your body has a hard time making those hormones. Yes, ma'am.
So I have a question. So I don't have a problem with sleep. As soon as I turn everything off and put my head on that pillow, I'm out. Would I still benefit from the sleep gummies?
Okay, so are you waking up feeling rested, ready to slay the day,
Most,
or when you
yeah.
wake up, you're like, okay. Okay, so you probably have a good balance of your hormones, because most people, because I was the same way. I was like, oh, I don't have trouble sleeping. I love to sleep. I mean, when my head hits the pillow, I don't have any problem. And but I was always waking up a little bit tired, okay, because I still had too much cortisol in my body from a little bit of stress. But I was always waking up tired, so I was going for the coffee, going for my supplements. And so I wasn't getting that restful sleep, getting into that REM sleep. You guys, when you get into REM sleep, you should be able to remember your dream for an instant. Like right when you wake up, you remember what you dreamed, and then you go to the bathroom and you're going to forget it. That's when you know that you're getting in restful sleep. And if you're not dreaming, then you're not ever getting into the REM sleep. You need to be able to remember that. So I thought I was getting restful sleep. But when I started taking the gummies, about the third day, it takes about 3 days for it to really kick in. It's a different feeling. I mean, so good. I mean, my mom was staying with us the other day, and I said, Mom, I just feel so good. And in the afternoon, I was like, I still feel so good. And my mom's like, whatever you're taking, give it to me, because you feel so good. And I haven't heard you talk about feeling so good in a long time. And so, but there's a combination. I had to balance my hormones. Okay. Testosterone is key, you guys. Testosterone is something, and we have testosterone boosters in our products. Okay. So like different ingredients like macaroot. Okay. You're going to find that in the good herbs, female support. You're also going to find that in the stay balanced. You're going to find that in the women's, the female hormonal balancer, which is a game changer as well. I really like that product. It's a beautiful product. The women's FX and is a little bit light on ingredients. It's still a beautiful product, but for a person that's really struggling with hormones, I like the Longevity Female Hormonal Balancer because it has other necessary nutrients that's in there.
That's what I use.
Yes, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful product. And you're an herbalist, okay? So when you start looking through there and you start seeing all the different herbs that helps to benefit the woman's body, I mean, it's just incredible. Because I'm not a big fan of like adaptogens that mimic hormones, like black cohosh, blue cohosh, because I want your body to balance where your body's making that necessary estrogen. Because estrogen, when you supplement with it, or if you're taking hormone replacement therapy, which I never, knock anybody that is doing that, but when a person starts going through menopause, it's the first thing that the doctor is going to give them is like an estradiol or some type of estrogen, and your body can build up almost like a toxicity level to it if you're not balancing out. Okay, it's almost like, I think about a pendulum. Okay, and with estrogen, too low is detrimental and too high is detrimental. Okay, your body will fluctuate. So if you're supplementing with a prescription, okay, with a chemical, it's mimicking estrogen, so you can also make too much estrogen and you don't know it, and you'll have other symptoms. So I always like to do natural supplements to help the body actually make it. Okay. And so, like you said, that product that you're taking is a beautiful product. I mean, it is just incredible. Back to the testosterone is, Stay Balanced is full of testosterone boosters. And that's why people, women and men can take that product, which is super cool. But a lot of times, I mean, that's the first thing that you want to ask, especially for anyone, at the age of 35. Here's some symptoms of low testosterone, and you didn't even know it. Okay, you're busy with your kids, life is busy, you're telling your husband you have a headache, and you blame it on you're so busy. When we're in our 30s and we're taking care of our kids, running from this basketball game to that dance recital, we don't have time for the intimacy at night. Okay, so we always say we got a headache. That's actually that's a symptom of low testosterone. Okay, it starts there. But then what happens is then whenever you have that imbalance, then it will trickle into anxiety, depression, autoimmune conditions. That's usually when autoimmune conditions are diagnosed, is when people are between their 30s and 40s. And that's when testosterone is the first hormone to fall. I mean, it is. A lot of times when we get older through menopause, we say the same thing. We may not say we have a headache, but we tell our partner, no, I'm not interested. Okay, you guys, God designed us, okay, until the day we die. That is a natural thing that should be happening between us and our person that we love, okay? It is something that should be happening. And if you're not feeling like you should be having that, then you probably have a testosterone deficiency. Just going to put it out there. But besides that, it also affects moods. And so, really understanding that, I see that somebody said headaches, migraines. I'm working with a lady right now, and her doctor wanted to put her on estrogen. So we're doing some things a little bit natural, and and I'm making sure that she's not getting any endocrine disruptors. Okay, so when we talk about that, you guys, that's your makeup, lotions, parabens, all these different chemicals, cleaning supplies that you have. All of these can disrupt hormones. And when those chemicals get stored in your body, then your body is going to also store extra estrogen, or going to store not enough progesterone. It really disrupts the hormones. And so really taking a whole look at what you're doing, because you can't just do one thing and expect that you're going to balance out your hormones and everything's going to be beautiful. You need to do the whole thing. You need to do your nutrition, the 90 essential nutrients. You need to look at your environment. What is coming in that could cause a disruption? Okay. And then you need to make sure you're sleeping, and then you're doing those boosters. Those are the key things to really balance out hormones. And like I said, it's been a passion of mine, because at 27, you guys, I was hit smack in the face, man. My kids didn't know whether I was trying to hug them or if I was telling them to get away and crying, and I was all over the map. I mean, they did not know. They knew to stay clear of mom, okay? Wow. Because I was a mess, and which was no fun.
Well, I feel very, very blessed that I found the Longevity family of products before approaching menopause. Little did I know that it was all working together within my body on all different levels. But I didn't have hot flashes. I didn't have mood swings. Went through menopause feeling great. And I mean, you're right, you and your loved one should be able to have that natural attraction and share it without their having the headaches or anything like that. So I think it's absolutely fabulous. And you mentioned the stay balanced. Tell you what, for somebody with no libido, and you take that, libido goes through the roof. So folks, if you got low libido or just want more libido, I would definitely recommend the ingredients that you can find in that stay balanced. But it's not just this ingredient, that ingredient, that ingredient. They are synergistically blended together to work together in a form that the body can use. And that has been the biggest game changer when it comes to looking at supplements and trying different supplements, is they're not all created the same at all. Because I could take, all the same ingredients from 15 different bottles and not get the same results, even if I was taking more of everything.
And you say something, a lot of people, because I love the manufacturing part. Okay. I love, working with our manufacturer to get the right combinations, and what people don't realize is a lot of cofactors that goes into the product to make them work. Like, for instance, in the Stay Balanced, we have zinc. Okay, zinc, you guys, is also it's a happy pill. Okay, if you're feeling blue and you're just like, I don't know what's really wrong with me, go take one of our zinc immune supports, or because zinc elevates the mood, and zinc is another nutrient that helps you, especially whenever you're going through hormonal changes. But that's a cofactor that we put in the Stay Balanced. Another one is niacin. Niacin is another one that works well to create blood flow. Okay. And so, it's interesting that this product, when we came out with it, it was called Nutravagra. Okay. It was during the Viagra days. Okay. We rode that as far as, it was popular. Well, we get a letter from Pfizer. Okay. And Pfizer says that it is too close to Viagra, the name, and that we needed to change. Here we are, this uh, herbal supplement company, and here comes a letter from Pfizer. I mean, it was just incredible that we would get a letter, right? And so we changed the name, and we changed it shortly to MVP, which is most valuable player. Okay. And then women start coming in, and all, they were having all these, hot flashes, night sweats, low libido, all that. And so we had to change it to Stay Balanced, because it does balance the men and the women. I mean, it is just so important. And so, yeah, it was, incredible to see what happens for people. But like you said, not every supplement's alike. Okay. And not two people are alike, you guys. What works for me, especially with hormones, you guys, what you're doing and what's working for Becca, which what she said is exactly what I hope all of you guys understand, is it's expected that we should have hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings. It's expected when we have cycles. The world has, said, oh, you just got PMS. Oh, you just are going through menopause. You guys, you have a hormone issue. Okay. It's an imbalance. You don't have to suffer. I think about my grandma on my dad's side, his mom, and back then, you guys, if you look at what menopause is called, there is like in Greek, it's called crazy. Okay, that's what menopause means, which is terrible,
Mhm.
especially for women, but it is a feeling that we go through whenever we have the imbalance. And way back then, and you think about your grandparents, and if they didn't have that balance, then they were called crazy. And my grandma, got a divorce when she went through menopause, and it was because her hormones was not balanced. They didn't have the education back then to be able to serve us, to be able to understand that it's just an imbalance, you guys. It's just, and so no two people are alike. So, sometimes it does take playing around and following the symptoms. There's certain symptoms that will also cause you to have either low estrogen, progesterone, or low testosterone. And those are the three key ones. If you're not sleeping, then we know we need to do melatonin to elevate, to level out the cortisol and get good night's rest, because we're going to repair the gut and the senescent cells. You guys, the brain, oh my gosh. That's why people wake up. And when you have good rested sleep, when you wake up, you feel like, that's why I feel like I can slay the day, because I've repaired and renewed my brain cells at night, which is beautiful. So think about that, especially with your children that are staying up till 2 o'clock finishing a paper. When they wake up, they don't feel like they need to go to school, right? They're not, and that's what happens to people that don't get sleep. Okay, it is and can be a chronic condition. It can turn into insomnia, but then that can turn into dementia and Alzheimer's. I mean, it is a condition, if you're not getting good rested sleep, that can actually go and multiply, because you're not repairing. You're not ever into that reset, that renew of those cells. And so they're doing a lot of research how sleep and dementia, how that is actually part of why, people are not getting, that are getting dementia is because of the terrible sleep patterns. They don't have their circadian rhythm corrected. And that also plays into hormones extremely. So
And the nutrients that are found within the 90 essential nutrients are all part of that foundation that gives the body what it needs so that it can do what it's designed to do. And we're talking,
absolutely,
yeah, so you have decline or deficiencies in just those nutrients, that's going to open up the body to having imbalances in the hormones,
absolutely.
right?
And some people will get on the 90 for life, the 90 essential nutrients, and don't have to do anything else because their body was craving those nutrients. They don't, all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, my cycle was so good, or I didn't have those symptoms that I had, or even for men, it elevates their mood because it's helping them to balance out their testosterone. And you guys, men don't want to talk about, it's harder for men. Women, we could talk about hormones at the nail salon, we could talk about hormones at the Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, we're not afraid to talk about hormones, okay? But men have a hard time talking about it because they feel like it's a failure. There's a stigma that gets put on it. But when the moods go down, men need to understand that, the 90 essential nutrients, but then also if that's not elevating their mood and balancing out, then, getting on a testosterone booster. They need to understand that it's okay. There's, men are going to have imbalances too, and which is important.
I remember as a mom of four boys, and they've got a wide spread. I remember several times when my oldest two were right at that age of puberty and having the husband. It's like testosterone's flowing today. I want to get out of here, because it was the headbutting and everybody had to be the man on top type situation. And then going through it again with the third one, and then now going through it with the fourth one. It's like, okay, we've got to get these guys on the 90 essential nutrients to start, and then making sure that the whole hormonal system is being supported with what it needs as well.
Absolutely.
Now, going back to the sleep gummies and the melatonin, Charlotte had commented here that she's afraid to try the gummies, that she had nightmares and rushing heart, anxious feeling from another over-the-counter melatonin. So,
Okay.
yeah, what is your
And that's
response to that?
absolutely. Okay, so I would suggest doing just one gummy. Okay, but here's the difference of ours versus what you see on the counter, because there are a lot of people say, oh, I've tried melatonin, okay, and it doesn't work for me, or they had nightmares or heart palpitations. We have a plant sourced melatonin. Okay, we have two different types and they're very good. We also have the GABA. Okay, that also helps calm the body down. Okay, so there's more in it than just a melatonin supplement. Okay, but here's what you do prior to sleep. You get off of all your devices. You make sure you're preparing your body. When the lights go down, your body naturally starts making melatonin. Okay, so when you think about a grocery store and you go grocery shopping at night, okay, right when you push your cart down that aisle, all the lights come back on. Okay, so that naturally tells our body to quit making melatonin, that we're supposed to still stay awake. So you're messing up your circadian rhythm. Okay, if you're having trouble sleeping, that melatonin with the HGH, which is the stacked amino acids, that is a superior product. Dr. Wallach got me on that a long time ago when we was going around to all the different cities, and yeah, I love that product. And then a good calcium magnesium. Okay, so that combination is what I would do. So whether it's the Beyond Osteo that you're doing another deal at night, or you're taking extra, I think that they like the Osteo Mag that's in that pack. But any type of magnesium, because magnesium also calms the body down. Okay. And so for her to have heart palpitations, I don't see that happening again just because of the things that's in the products to calm things down. I would say that it was probably a reaction to whatever filler they were putting in the product. Could have been, something like that, or not or a cheaper source of melatonin. Okay, not every, and so I would suggest that she just try one. I personally take two because I'm that type of person. If one works, two's going to work better, and that's what works for me. But it's really been a game changer for a lot of people. Stan takes one, okay, and he did have a weird dream the first night, but by the third night, okay, by the third night, I mean, he's like, man, these dreams are so good. I mean, it's just like it's a different thing that's going. I mean, and it's just a relaxing feeling, and you just feel good when you wake up. It's just a good inner peace. So
I know a lot of people that don't wake up feeling good. And the pack that Dr. Laura is referring to is the sleep pack that's offered by Longevity. It includes the sleep gummies and the HEH Youth Complex and the Osteomag. So those three products put together in a bundle for a great sleep. Now, the HGH Youth Complex, it's not human growth hormone, but it is the nutrients that the body needs so that it can naturally manufacture that human growth hormone, correct?
that is correct. And it also helps other amino acids because amino acids, you guys, repair the body. Okay, that's why protein is important during the day because it also that's how our body manufactures amino acids. Okay, is through protein. So when you have these stacked amino acids, it's already repairing. It's helping the cells. It's helping the muscles, the tissues. It's in. That's what you have to realize. What you're doing at night, you're not just sleeping. Okay, there's a lot of things that's happening. Your gut's being repaired. Your hormones are being repaired. The senescent cells, with the brain is being repaired, and a whole cellular thing is happening whenever we sleep. Okay, so amino acids are they're precursors. The HGH is precursors to help to manufacture the human growth hormone, which human growth hormone is also super important for our regular hormones. The estrogen, the testosterone, and progesterone, and so it does a whole host of different things. The HGH does, and yes, it is precursors. I don't suggest anybody taking a hormone growth supplement. Okay, that used to be a widely promoted for weight loss. Don't ever do that. This is a precursor because the human growth hormone can do damage if you're supplementing with it. Okay, and so that was widely promoted as losing weight. Now, I will tell you something on this pack. Okay, and I know it's because I'm feeling so good. I don't have that elevated cortisol because I went through a period of grief in my life. Okay, and it was three certain things, and I wouldn't trade anything because but I gained weight, and all of a sudden I'm like, what? Okay, no, not all of a sudden, but I didn't realize it till all of a sudden. But after being on that sleep pack, not changing, but I eat healthy. I mean, I walk 3 miles a day. I mean, I'm so faithful on all of those. I drink half my body weight in ounces of water. I do all of that, and just getting that sleep, I'm losing weight. It's beautiful. And I was at a friend's event, and I see them every Monday, and they go, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing? You're losing a lot of weight." And I'm like, "I know, it's so cool. I'm sleeping. It's wonderful." so so
Wow.
it's even gonna help with that because it's awesome.
That's fantastic. I love it. I love hearing things like that. Uh, the benefits of nutrition. And like you said, it wasn't all of a sudden, but all of a sudden you realized what that grief had was doing within your body over an amount of time. And it's like, okay, now what? I gotta, figure out what is going to help me recover from that grief. because grief is real. I mean, it affects our bodies in so many ways, no matter how strong we think we are. It does. It wreaks havoc on our system, both physically, mentally, and that stress. I think stress, when you've got stress in the body, that's like stress in the cells and prevents the absorption sometimes too of nutrients. I might be wrong,
Absolutely.
but
No, you are completely right.
yeah, so and people don't realize that. So folks, you know, you don't have to hold it all in. You got to find a way to grieve because there's a time to grieve. Period. Absolutely. It's okay. It's okay. We have another question here from Deborah. She says, I had a full hysterectomy with ovaries out. What is the best product to support my hormones?
Okay, and how old is she?
I think she's, what are you, 68, Deborah?
Okay, so I would do exactly um, what I do. Okay, and the reason is because I had a complete hysterectomy. So you're because where we get estrogen is there's two places. Okay, estrogen, which is really good with cholesterol that helps you guys. Cholesterol is important whenever it comes to hormones. Okay, just throwing that out there. But with estrogen, when you don't have the ovaries, guess what? Your body quits making estrogen. Okay, and so I love the female hormonal balancer. I take that twice a day, but with your age, I would just try the normal dose. Okay. I also take the Stay Balanced, which is that's going to help to bring in that whole balance, that mood, uplifting the mood. Um, I had a lady, she was 74, and she goes, I just don't feel good. I think it's my hormones. Got her on the Stay Balanced. She called me the next day, and she's like, or probably 3 days later, she goes, oh my gosh, I feel so good. So it is going to be, and that's what you should feel is that uplifting. Okay. That's the response that you should be feeling from those two products. The 90 essential nutrients, are critical, which, everything I suggest is always after the 90. So, I don't think that anybody on here, well, maybe there's some guest on here, but that is our foundation. Okay. I take extra EFAs. Okay. That also helps me, because here's the thing, whenever you go into hormone health, okay, is that the aging process. And so when your hormones are out of range and out of balance, then you no longer are in that anti-aging. You are into the aging phase. Okay, so the extra EFAs for me works really well. But the two top hormonal products is the Stay Balanced and the female hormonal balancer. That's my top products that I like.
All right. And then there's a question coming from Olga wanting to know, can woman's hormone balancer be taken at the same time as Xerafem?
Okay, so Xerafem, and I would probably choose one or the other, or I would do, if you want the benefits of both, do not the whole, like if it says to take, like if the Xerafem says to take 1 3 times a day, maybe you take two, okay, instead of the whole dose. And then with the female hormonal balancer, you do the same thing. You're cutting that dose down, so then you're getting the benefit of both products. But I wouldn't take both products because they have similar ingredients. And so you don't want to be overly abundantly getting the female hormones, okay? Because that's more towards the female hormones on that. So I would just, switch it up. Both of them are great products, but the female hormonal balancer checks off more boxes, okay? The Xerafem is a great, I look at it like a women's one a day. Okay, it has necessary ingredients, but it may not have the ones that's going to really help to balance out the hormones. It's going to over time, but it doesn't have enough milligrams as much as the female hormonal balancer. So if you're a hormonal mess, the female hormonal balancer is going to actually do more because of the different ingredients it has in it, and plus the milligrams. Okay, it's just a little bit more of a boost of a product.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And then let's see. Jessica says in my late 20s, she started taking the Tangy Tangerine OsteoFX, made raw egg smoothies with wheat germ oil as a source of vitamin E, takes copper, doesn't eat the bad foods, and she cooks with butter, lard, been taking supplements. Um, how do I know if I'm imbalanced?
Okay, so I always go off of symptoms. Okay, if you're not feeling good, then you're not balanced. If you are suffer with anxiety, depression, fatigue, if you and and sometimes it's just that fight or flight. Okay, if because that's cortisol is a protective hormone for that fight or flight. But if you're not handling situations very well, or you get stressed, then you're also out of balance. So you have to go, like Becca and I both, we know we're balanced. Okay, we feel good. We don't have we're able to handle situations. We're just doing pretty awesome. I mean, I can tell that how she said, she didn't have the hot flashes, the night sweats, and so if you're still suffering, okay, from any type of condition, okay, we got to figure out, we got to fill in the gaps, see what you're not doing. Back to the smoothie. Uh, I would have to have you list what was in it again, because I didn't hear exactly what was all in it.
Well, she was
Um,
talking about smoothies with raw eggs, and taking wheat germ oil as a source of vitamin E, and then copper, 6 milligrams of copper daily. So there's a little bit
okay,
of fractionation going on with individual things that are said to be good for us.
right. I do not do any oils, you guys. None, none. I mean, I don't. Wheat germ oil. You can find out if there's some good things. I don't do any oils except butter, ghee, and it's not oils. Okay, butter, ghee, lard. I do nitrate-free bacon. I save the grease from my nitrate-free bacon. I use that a lot. And so don't do any oils. Raw egg is great. You guys, a raw egg is wonderful, especially for your hair, skin, and nails. I mean, there's a lot of things that because you got the purity of the egg. There's nothing being cooked in it. Okay. Now do pasture, rate. I mean, that they're out in the pasture. You want good eggs. Mine are the happy eggs. Okay. I live in town, so I don't have a farmer that's giving me his happy eggs. And so that's the brand I use. You want to go with an organic source, definitely, because you guys, here's another thing that is becoming a big deal. We know on the 10 bed foods, the worst one is the glyphosate. I mean, the gluten. Okay. Here's the problem that we're getting. We're getting gluten to seep into our food supply. And the reason is because these organic farms, okay, or grass-fed beef, okay, guess what? They didn't get fed corn, or they didn't get fed, but these farmers that are feeding their chickens, okay, they may be still feeding a food, okay, that has gluten, that has different oils, or whatever that's in that food that they're feeding. And so it's really important to see, because I see that glyphosates, I do a lot of the uh, the wellness scans,
Mm-hmm.
and glyphosates is off the chart. Okay, and glyphosates, you guys, is gluten. Okay, it's a GMO, but it's gluten. It is Monsanto. It is a Roundup, and it's usually sprayed on wheat whenever they take the wheat out of the farm, and they're about to put it into the silo. They spray it with Roundup right then, just to keep it on the ground. Okay, there's no other reason why they're doing it. But glyphosate, you guys, destroys healthy gut bacteria. Okay, and so and especially in the small intestine. Well, we know that's where we absorb our nutrients. Okay, and so get off gluten, oils. Look at that 10 bad foods list, but then also start looking at your food supply to make sure it's not leaching in. Okay, because in our environment, you guys, all the frankenfood, it just is sad. It's really sad what's happening. I mean, in normal products that you're used to eating or getting, you got to start looking at the labels again, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because it is getting to be where they're letting like the pill, come in and be on, organic avocados, and you got to really start looking at the labels, because you guys, this is what's hurting us even more and destroying how we're absorbing our nutrients. We're so thankful that we have these 90 essential nutrients, okay? Because when you think about the food, you have to even put more stake into your supplementation, because we can't get it even when we're eating organic. We're not getting those nutrients, you guys.
Right.
We're just not getting the pesticides and the herbicides. Okay. And so definitely, I didn't mean to go off on that. I told you, Becca, sometimes I I get off on a tangent a little bit, but everybody's looking at labels. Okay. Sorry about that.
Yes. No, that's all right. I mean, because that's something that's very important. Is not only does that affect crops and getting down into the soil, it's going into our body, affecting our bodies, including on the hormone level. So it's no, that was no tangent. I think some of those trails just circle right back and fit right in nicely. So
Perfect.
we have another question from a man wanting to know about Stay Balanced and Zeratest being taken together.
Okay, so I would do the same thing. That they do have different ingredients, those two. Okay, and so you can actually probably take both. But just depending, I never like for anybody to waste money either. And so if they want to get both products and get the benefits of both, do the same thing, but maybe you're not taking a full bottle a month, you're taking a half a bottle of each one, so then you can get the ingredients and get the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could try one product first and then see how you feel, and then try the next one. Sometimes that's even good. So then you can see which one really works well with your body, because the same thing goes. Uh, Stay Balanced, I will say, has more testosterone boosters than most of the products with longevity. And so if you're feeling like testosterone is what you're deficient in, okay, and that's mood, anxiety, fatigue, low libido, uh, you know, and just feeling good, okay, then
Mm-hmm.
you definitely want to try the Stay Balanced, because it has more of the testosterone boosters for it.
Excellent. Well, we have just a few minutes, and we've got a couple questions in regards to general health. If you don't mind, since you are very familiar with the longevity products, very familiar as a naturopathic physician, in using nutrition on a daily basis to meet health needs. So let me find it. Where'd it go? So here, Charlotte's wanting to know, what are your recommendations for a lady 67 years old, 170 pounds, 5'6", and has Raynaud's?
Okay. Um, okay, so with Raynaud's, um, okay, so she's at 170 pounds, so she needs to take the 90 essential nutrients. I would do I would combine, okay, the healthy body, brain and heart pack, as well as the body, bone and joint. Okay, so um, I would suggest that you do. She's 170 pounds, so she's going to have to do at least, one and a half of the 90 essential nutrients.
Mhm.
Okay, healthy body pack. I would stick with the bone and joint. Then I would add the cardiovascular products. Okay, because we really want to get the cells attracting the nutrition. And so definitely extra selenium in the brain and heart. You got the extra EFA, and so I would piecemeal that together. Okay, she needs to be on collagen, because we're talking about muscle spasms. We're talking about in the cellular tissue. Okay, so the extra collagen would be good, but the glucogel, because she's going to be doing the healthy bone and joint pack. Okay, times two or one and a half at least. Okay. And then we're going to add the selenium. We're going to add the extra EFAs that is in the brain and heart pack. And then I would do the extra collagen. Now, from my line of products, I would add the Stay Restored, the Hope, and the Stay Young. And that's what I would start with, because that's gonna help with also the Stay Restored is the anti-inflammatory, but it also helps with joint pain, different things like that. And then the Stay Young helps you to absorb your nutrients, but it also works on the cellular level. And so it's a super antioxidant. And so it's going to really help the cells and the tissues. And then the Hope is a blood purifier. I think that everybody should be on the Hope. I mean, yeah, I think it's sort of like you got the 90 for life, and then you got the Z Radical, and then you got the Hope. Okay, that sort of is, if somebody had to, start going down the line, that's what I definitely would do is add those. So
Excellent. And I was so excited to find out because Hope has been on back order for a minute or two, and it is back in stock today, right when I need it most. So super, super excited to be able to get that delivered tomorrow.
and the
So
Stay Balance is also and we really appreciate how much people are really enjoying that product line. It's a good affordable one to add to the 90 essential nutrients, and so people are really enjoying that. And so I thank you guys. But Hope is a game changer. Hope is a beautiful product. And I know I always say beautiful, but you guys, I get really nerdy whenever it comes to ingredients and formulations. And so when you hear me say that's a beautiful product, I mean it's a beautiful product. So anyway, go ahead.
fantastic. Well, it's okay to get nerdy about ingredients, Dr. Laura. It's
I love it.
when you're not nerdy, then things slack and then things don't work like you would think that they should. And that's what I love about your
Absolutely.
products. One that was not mentioned, and this is part of the Stay Natural line of products, folks, offered through Longevity, which you can find at DailywithDoc.com or get back with the person that shared this program with you. But one product that I use because my day starts at 4 o'clock most of the time. And sometimes by 2, 3 o'clock, I'm needing that extra little to get through the day because I don't have time to take a nap and stay energized. Fabulous.
It's an
Fabulous.
awesome product. And truckers love that product too because it's a capsule. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a quick on the go. It's and also you guys, it has chromium. It really helps with blood sugar, but it helps with blood flow. I mean, there's a lot of ingredients that helps also with blood flow. So that's also helping you, and it just keeps you focused, which is super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and sometimes I've taken like energy, enhancing things in the past before longevity days, and I would get jittery and I couldn't focus because my mind was so stimulated. And I haven't experienced that with any of the longevity products, nor with the Stay Energized. So,
If it's making you feel bad, you shouldn't take it. And that's what the old energy products used to do is, they probably had the ephedra or, something in it. And you guys, when you get energy and then it drops you, that flat, just like that, it's not good for your body. And you're not going to get that with our energy products from the Pollen Burst or the Stay Energized Plus or any of it. It's just good focused energy.
yeah, absolutely. And the new Pollen Burst flavor will be ready for delivery on the 17th. So excited. Well,
It's a beautiful product. It's a beautiful product and a beautiful taste. I love it.
beautiful taste, and I am so thankful that I got sampled. Um, that I can enjoy. So we are at the top of the hour, Dr. Laura. Thank you so much. Oh, Ruth Ellen has her hand up.
Thank you.
I'm out of my element, so I'm not seeing everything the way I should be seeing. So Ruth Ellen.
So Jill has a question for you, Dr. Laura, and you did phenomenal. Very good today. Awesome sauce.
Oh, thank you.
So Jill would like to know how are the Pro Fem and the Pro Test different than the ones that you talked about?
Okay, so the Pro Fem and okay, so with the Prohoba line of products, okay, they use the sod, okay, to be able to help to bring things into balance, and it does work great. I mean, if you're taking that product and you're getting results, don't get off the product. And so from the Stay Balanced and the Zeratest and the Zerafem, they use more of an herbal base to help to balance out those nutrients. So if you're using the Profem or you're using in the Prohoba line, I know a lot of people do use them. And so it's okay. Sorry, my clock's going off. But it's okay to use those. It just is different types of ingredients. Okay. The others are coming from a more of an herbal based. And so, but still great products.
And you mentioned SOD, which is superoxide dismutase, for those that don't know what that is, which antioxidants.
Yes.
Yeah.
AJ
Well,
has his hand up as well if you
oh,
have time. One more.
AJ?
Dr. Laura, you're fabulous. Thank you very much. We had a question on Rumble, and I don't want to forget our Rumble folks.
Oh,
From our friend, it says, being a 62-year-old male, I'm concerned about getting my testosterone and hormones in balance. I'd also like to have a restful sleep. And how much I-26 should I take a day?
Okay, so let's start with the hormones first. Okay, he needs to be on the 90 essential nutrients according to his weight. Okay, and so just depending on what his weight is what he would take. The hormones, I would at 67, I would definitely try the Stay Balanced. Okay, because he's worried about his hormone levels. I would start with that product. For sure. And then what was the last part of his issue?
Yes, how much I-26 should he take?
Okay, you guys, I-26 is a beautiful product, okay, but it's a strong product. And so, you know, a lot of people need to sort of go slowly into that product. Some people will double it in the beginning and then sometimes will get sick, nauseated. So I always suggest, and it could be different from how I suggest it versus others, but I would do a half a dose for the first 3 or 4 days, go to a full dose after that. And then once he gets to a full dose, I would just continue that unless he feels like he's still has a low immune system or he still has gut health issues. Because you guys, I-26 does more than just the immune system. Okay, it also works on gut, and it really helps to restore the gut. And so he has to really look at those symptoms to see how they are being improved for that. Okay, and so I would go in half so then he doesn't get nauseated or, you know, I've had some clients, you know, have extreme diarrhea, which I do know that they have a gut issue is the reason why. Okay, but I slowly lead them into that product and then we go full dose. And then sometimes if they're still needing extra, then we can double the dose.
Thank you.
all right.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for that, Dr. Laura. And I don't know why all this.
Okay, back to the restful sleep. We didn't
Oh,
say
yes.
that one. Okay, do the pack, do the melatonin, do the HGH, and do the osteomag.
All right, fantastic. Thank you. I don't know if you're getting an echo. I'm getting an echo. But that just tells us, hey, folks, we are at the end of our show. Another great show. Thank you so much, Dr. Laura. I know we had some comments saying these guests are great. I enjoy hearing them. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring information that keeps bringing people back to hear what's next. What's next? What else can I do? What else can I do? So thank you again, Dr. Laura Dennison. So we greatly appreciate you, formulator, and the person who brought in the Stay Natural products to longevity. So
Thank you. And you guys have a wonderful and beautiful day. Love you guys.
You as well. Love you too. And if I could get my co-hosts on with me, I couldn't do this without them. Being in a different location today, I didn't have all my computers. And I love the fact that we can work together in what's called advanced team building, using our strengths to raise the ship where we are all working together for the same cause. And folks, that cause is you and helping you find a better health journey. So get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there is nobody to thank, We have an amazing team of coaches who can help you figure out exactly what might be going on within the body, where the nutritional deficiencies lie, and address those deficiencies. So until next time, I just want to say thank you, Sherry, for letting people in and watching chat, and Albert also. And thank you to Phyllis as she's putting information into the chat and watching all the different platforms and, and comments there as well. Thank you so much, Phyllis. And Marilyn putting information in the chat, which, folks, if you're not here live with us, you really should be. Our chat is just full of information, repeating what has been said, because sometimes we're like taking notes and it's like, oh, what did I miss? Well, Marilyn and Phyllis put all that into the chat so that you don't have to miss anything. And then we have AJ and Ruth Ellen making sure that our stream goes out, watching all those different platforms. I just couldn't do this without a team, folks. So if you have talents that you would like to put to work within a team building healthier world, because we start with ourselves, goes out to our families, our communities, and together we really can create a healthier world. Get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there's nobody to thank, give us a call at 855-949-3377 or go to our website, DailywithDoc.com. Bye for now.
Before we go,
Oh,
we are not having a live show tomorrow, so there will be a revisiting, which is what we call replay. So you can find us on Rumble and YouTube and Facebook.
yes.
Critical Health News on Rumble and YouTube, and Critical Health on Facebook. And you can watch a show from there, but you'll be able to see a replay tomorrow. And then on Friday, there will be no live show and no replay. So we will see you next week for a live show on Monday.
And no live show on Thanksgiving, folks, or the day after.
Um,
So spend time with your family and just really focus on being present.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.